I can guarantee this is how it's going to play out for you unless you're one of the fortunate ones. You're going to do something and you're going to spend a great deal of time building it. And then once you've built it, people will discount it and they'll say it's not good enough and they'll pass over it. So inevitably, there is this problem that you face where you have to convince other people. It doesn't matter what problem that you're working on. Doesn't matter what thing you've actually built. Everybody goes through this. And this problem is that you will build and spend a great deal of time on it. And it will not work out in the way that you thought it will work out. And you have to conceive of it and convince other people that this thing is legitimate. Could be a new product, could be a new idea, could be a new a new a new way of communicating. It doesn't matter what it is. It's the same old story that you're gonna have to face, and you're gonna be highly discounted, and people are gonna say, "Who cares?" Now, you will get the benefit of the doubt if you are more well known, you come from the right family background, you have the right education, all of this sort of normal stuff that you know. This is just basic social science. We know this stuff actually plays out. This is very solidly, there's boatloads of evidence at this moment that this plays out, and you're going to be discounted. And so it's up to you to decide what's going to happen when you experience this discount. You can either give up and say, nobody believes in me, nobody cares, or you can say, I can do this. I can actually turn this into something. This is a choice that you will have to face. This is a choice that's very difficult. And most people that you will talk to, almost everybody, will choose the latter. They will give up. They'll say, this is not worth my time. They'll spend, and it doesn't matter how long it is. You might work on it for a week. You might work on it for a month. You might work on it for 10 years or 20 years or even 50 years. And at some point, most people will give up. We know this. I want you to look at what's called survival rates. These are survival rates. There's actually a legitimate pattern that is known across virtually everything. And it's called the survival analysis. This is fundamental to how insurance works. It's fundamental to how the world actually works. Insurance companies know this, and the mathematicians, this is their bread and butter. The idea is that almost everybody drops out and they don't care. They just stop at the beginning, and very few people will persist for a long time. And it's up to you to decide whether you will persist, whether you will actually move forward and go beyond what is expected of you, to put in more effort, to spend more time, to do something that everybody else around you would say, this is stupid. And the thing that's going to be the most difficult that you will face, it's not when somebody that is really distant, that is around you, distant from you, is going to tell you what you're doing is stupid. It's when somebody very close to you tells you that what you're doing is stupid and you should quit. And that's when the real money is made at that moment. That's when you have to push beyond. And the people that are able to push beyond, they have a higher likelihood. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, because there's no guarantee with anything. There's a higher likelihood of something actually happening, unless you're one of the chosen ones. But I know that almost all of us are not the chosen ones. Almost all of us are looking at the world and saying, this is really difficult. I need to move forward. And I could choose. I can choose to give up. And here's the thing. Nobody's going to tell you that what you're doing is good. Nobody is going to step up and say, keep going. Everybody that you talk to is going to say it's a stupid idea. And it's up to you to decide. Am I strong enough to keep going even though that this thing doesn't make sense to anybody else? Could be your education. Could be a job that you're trying to pursue. Could be anything. And there's no right answers to any of this. If you continue with it, you're likely kind of a little bit crazy. If you stop, you're more sane, but you're going to miss out on any opportunities that are going to happen that require a great deal of work to polish and make it better. All I know is when you look around the world and you see things that matter, the only determinant that I know of is that somebody actually pushed further, longer, did more work, continued to go beyond what everybody expected of them. Everybody else said, I'm going to quit. I'm going to leave. This is not for me. But that one person that continued on made something. This is true of Michelangelo with his famous statues, David, to famous musicians, to any number of areas that you're going to look at. You can rely on luck and have the one thing take off if you're the chosen one. But I think most of us cannot rely on luck. We have to decide to get up and do this every day, regardless of how it feels and regardless of what everybody thinks about you. It's your choice. The only way that you're actually going to capitalize on your investment is to keep pushing through it.